Hello everyone, and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Origins teaser. A bit of an experiment, I'll explain.
These bodies are dried with natron?
Who might you be?
A temple inspector.
Right. About time you got here. Memphis has been stinking of rot for months.
I suspect a problem with the natron. Where does it come from?
Not far from here. Guarded by good men near the canal. Watch out for crocodiles.
And lizards.
Did you say lizard?
It means something to you.
I've heard it whispered in taverns. Rumors only.
If you have nothing of substance to offer, I will be leaving.
Wait. I can tell you this. Our natron is tainted. It is mixed with sand. Go to the warehouse just north of the Great Temple. The gods be with you.
So the mummies rotted due to the tainted natron. Let's see what is in this warehouse he mentions.
One of the games that I come back to a lot is Assassin's Creed Origins. And it's simply because it is one of the most beautifully cinematic, amazing games I've ever played. The gameplay is pretty simplistic. The combat, I should say, is pretty simplistic. But it does so many things well, including the art style, the way that Bayek moves, the way he jumps on a horse, the way NPCs work. It's pretty wonderful. And the bottom line is that I just have a huge amount of fun playing this game, and it becomes a game that I go back to over and over and over. I was never an Assassin's Creed disciple. I never played any of the original games. Assassin's Creed Origins was my first introduction to the Assassin's Creed series, and then I went on to play Odyssey, which was also pretty amazing. But this game has a special place in my heart simply because of Egypt and the pyramids and the way that it looks from beginning to end, and the way that it sounds, the music, the landscape, everything they did with it pretty much blows me away on a regular basis, and it's why I keep coming back to it. And I've always abstained from putting this game on my channel simply because in Assassin's Creed games there are a lot of filler content in the Assassin's Creed games. There's a lot of just side quest after side quest after side quest that doesn't always add up to stuff.
Here is the warehouse. I need to be careful. Only the guilty aim to disgrace the innocent.
May the gods be kind.
Salt is cheap. There must be more than gold to your crime.
Gold had nothing to do with it. A priest in a blue sash brought my orders. He did this to me. He threatened to do the same to my daughter. I brought foulness on this city, only to protect her. I swear it. Please.
Help me, and I will end this.
Here. I kept it. Take it.
I'll send this writer to the Devourer. The seal of Anubis. A priest sabotaged the natron. The letter mentions a bandit cave. I will go clear out this viper's nest once and for all.
And Bayek easily ended up being one of my most favorite voiced protagonists in any game ever when I got done playing with this. The actor who does it, his voice just did a phenomenal job. It was amazing. Most of you who are patrons, who hang out on the channel, you know that I love a wide variety of games. I love tactical turn-based games. I love 4X strategy games. I certainly love party-based role-playing games and single-player role-playing games. And Assassin's Creed was
Sand. They have mixed it with the
sort of my first foray into more of an action RPG. But it's just so engaging, and it looks so freaking gorgeous. But like I said, I've always kind of refrained from putting it on the channel, or restrained myself from putting it on the channel, because I was worried that it might not be interesting enough to do a series on. But I gotta hand it to my Patreons, because over the years I've put poll questions up to the Patreons, and I've asked do you want to play you want me to play a certain kind of game? And most of the time you folks respond really open-ended. And encouraging. You say, just play what you love, man. We'll watch. And I really like that. So I didn't want to start this series until I could get some feedback on it, until I could actually record it and see how it looked and see what it was like to narrate it and to see how I felt about doing it. It's so easily one of my favorite things to play, and I'd love to go through the game again from start to finish and put it on the channel, but I want to make sure that there'd be an audience for it. There's not a lot of point in doing something if people aren't going to watch. But like the music here is just so good, and the mechanics of the game are cool. Bayek's gear choices, everything from how it gets upgraded. You are dead. Stealthing, shooting, swords. This particular sword has poison on it. It's a much more light combat system than something like Elden Ring was, which I know some of you hung out. Some of you hung out and watched that through that whole series from beginning to end. I really did end up liking Elden Ring a lot.
Memphis is dead. We'll sleep peacefully now.
And the complexity and difficulty of the combat was great. This is a lot simpler, but it just, as a whole game and as a whole game loop, it is very satisfying to play. And I think because of how cinematic it is, it might also be very satisfying to watch. And there's just tons of this kind of stuff of hidden tomb entrances and exploring the pyramids and all sorts of stuff like that. So all I really wanted to do here in this teaser video, and I wasn't sure what to label this video and what to call it. It's certainly not a first look or anything like that. It's just really feeling it out to see if the audience would want to watch something like this. But it's just such an incredible game, and if you've never watched or played an Assassin's Creed game like I had not done before being exposed to this one, it might surprise you. I know it certainly surprised me. Like I said, I never got into the original Assassin's Creeds because I didn't think that they were going to be for me or that they would be very cool. And boy, was I surprised. I had a number of friends that kept telling me I had to play this game. Oh, how did he lose that much hit points? From falling? See, I shouldn't be able to beat this guy. The Falakis here in the game are one of the absolute coolest parts of this game. There's several of them, and they're hunters. They're coming after you. They're bounty hunters. They're very, very tough. And yeah, he stretched to chew me up right away there. But I have a special that I can charge up right here that lets me swing and hit harder and faster, and it's just incredible. It's so cool. Like I said, the combat system itself is pretty simplistic. It's attack, you can kind of dodge, you can kind of block. It really comes down to just weapons and swinging fast, but it's just a pleasure to play. It's just fun. And so to me, it's a great mix of arcade action play with a semi-realistic world. And you all know how I hate parkour and platforming, and yet this is the only game I like it in. It's appropriate here and it works. It's awesome. And they do things in the game to take full use of the parkour and the platforming and all this stuff. And the way that they do it is they ask you to have an inquisitive mind and an exploratory nature about you. And if you do that, it ends up being very cool. You get to see stuff that you wouldn't see. It's kind of amazing. I'm going to say that a lot. It's kind of amazing, but this is how much I love this game. It's just one of those very few games in my library that I go back to over and over, much the same way I go back to Skyrim, I go back to Fallout 4, I go back to Baldur's Gate 2, I go back to the Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 games, because they're amazing. And just graphically, the game kills me at how good it is. There's something about being put in ancient Egypt with this particular architecture and the pyramids and the sand and the desert and the trees and the Nile River, and it's all geographically accurate. It's just very small compared to how vast and big Egypt is. But you know, they can only make a game so big, but it gives you this certain sense of place, and I don't know what it is. When I play this game, I almost feel like I'm home. It's a really weird feeling. And this is the kind of stuff that's mind-blowing to me. It's nighttime here, so it doesn't show up as good, but seeing the pyramids in the distance, seeing the city of Memphis lay out before you, seeing the Nile River, realizing as you play the game that, yeah, they built civilizations where there was water. More pyramids in the distance, the great music in this game, just scenically looking at it and scenes, it reminds me the most of the movies that I love from the great filmmakers that I love, guys like Ridley Scott, who work with amazing cinematographers and just want to blow you away with great visuals in addition to amazing storytelling and setting and characters. That's what this game does. It just leaves me awestruck. So I thought what I would do is just put this video up and try to gauge interest and see if anybody would be interested in doing something like this or watching this. I would probably treat it like the No Man's Sky Sundays and make this like a Saturday feature or something, or a Thursday night feature or whatever. Just once a week running around Assassin's Creed and experiencing Egypt and experiencing Bayek's story, which is so much fun. The whole game, really. So if you dig it, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, leave your questions and comments down below. Let me know if you want to support this, if you'd watch or not. And if there's no support for it, that's fine. I mean, I'm still gonna keep playing it periodically because it's what I do, but it would be fun to start over and really give it the attention it deserves. Thanks for watching, everybody. Patreons, thank you for your support, especially over the last couple of years. Thank you every time I put out a poll and you answer. I love it. You folks are the best. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.